Welcome, guys. So, today we're going to be talking on the recent character that was released in Aether Gazer, which is Oceanus. Now, I know he had been released for a few weeks now, but I haven't pulled him, or I'm not pulling him. And I wanted to be sure that I understand everything that's engraved in his kit and how his playstyle works before releasing this video. This is why this video has been taking a bit of time before its release. So yeah, with that said, let's get into the video. This is a melee DPS of the water element. He makes use of traces to use his skill. He's one of the best and probably the fastest DPS in the game currently. His normal attack is a fast combo that deals water damage. The third strike on his normal attack activates Riptide. This pulls all his tributary ghosts to the locked enemy and deal water damage and resets the duration of the tributary ghost. His first skill, Rushing River, deals water damage to enemies and creates one tributary ghost which deals water damage to enemies. This is called Tributary Flow. At the end of the skill, all tributary ghosts deal damage to the surrounding enemies and reset the duration of both tributary ghost and tributary flow. You also gain a trace when you hit this skill. Also, this skill doesn't cost any trace, so you can use it for free. His skill 2, Tide Surge, deals water damage to enemies in front based on his attack. If you have up to 2 trace when casting this skill, it will use up all the tributary ghosts currently on the field and increase his melee damage by 6% for 8 seconds. For every tributary ghost expended, it recreates the ghost around the locked enemy while dealing damage to surrounding enemies. So for every tributary ghost that is expended when you cast the skill, when you have 2 traces, it will deal or increase his melee damage by 6% for every one of those tributary ghosts. You can have a maximum of 3 tributary ghosts, so for 3 tributary ghosts, that's 18% that you can increase his melee damage. His skill 3, Great Confluence, absorbs all tributary ghosts around him, and for every ghost that was expended, it increases his skill damage by 6% for 8 seconds, so 6 times 3, 18. Expends all traces and increases the ghost damage, which is tributary ghost damage, by 12% for every trace used. So if you have 3 tributary ghosts on the field and you have 3 traces in your kit and you use skill 3, you gain 12% times 3, which is 36%, and 6% times 3, which is 18%. So you gain 18% skill damage and 36% increase to tributary ghost damage. Then he deals damage based on his attack and creates temporary ghosts for every tributary ghost that was absorbed. 3 can be created because 3 tributary ghosts can be created also, and they deal damage based on Oceanus' attack. His ultimate, Boundless Sea, slashes with a flow blade that deals water damage based on his attack over a large area. All tributary ghosts on the field will increase all team members' water damage and melee damage by 6% for 10 seconds. So he can be used as a water team buffer or melee damage buffer if you want to go down that route. However, I would not advise this because he also has a lot of damage in his own kit. His dodge skill, Ocean Blur, dodges enemy attack but also creates one tributary ghost when you trigger Extremity Dodge, which is dodging at the last second before you attack, and also grants you 1 trace. Now, if you have traces when you use his dodge skill, Ocean Blur, to trigger Extremity Dodge and then deal normal attack 1 second after, you will expend 1 trace and then you deal water damage based on his attack, and then you reset the duration of the bonus effect from skill 3 and also gain armor pierce for 18% of armor pierce for 6 seconds. So once you have traces and you use his dodge skill, you trigger extremity dodge and attack 1 second after you trigger extremity dodge. You will consume a trace, deal damage based on his attack, and the skill damage and melee damage buff, or the skill damage and the ghost damage buff you gain from Great Confluence, his skill 3. This dodge skill will then reset those buffs, so you can actually extend the duration of the buffs. For Oceanus' Sigils, because of how his kit is played and how he deals damage, I personally feel Mermaid tier in slot 1, 3 and 5 for the substats, and Decree of the Waves in slot 2, 4 and 6 again for the substats are the best in slots for him, because Mermaid tier increases his water damage and lowers the enemy's water resistance, and also increases his crit rate, while the Decree of Waves restore traces for him, increases his attack and increases his crit damage. So basically everything that he needs to do the maximum amount of damage is getting buffed by these two sigils. So these are the two sigils that I feel are best in slots for him. You can also try Revenge of the Owl, as that buffs melee damage, but the slot positioning is not the best because you need to do it in, I think, 4, 5 and 6, and there's not really any sigil sets that can work in 1, 2 and 3 for him. But anyway, that's pretty much it for his sigils. For his Functor, if you have his signature Functor Moroclos, this is the best in slot for him. It buffs everything about his kit. It gives him crit rate, it increases his normal attack, it gives him more stacks so he can deal more damage with his tributary ghost. So it's the best in slot for him. But if you do not have Moroclos, which is a signature Functor, there are some other Functors you can use or which are open to him, like the 3-star Functor Hippo, which can increase his crit damage by 16% at Transcendence 5. I feel everyone should have this as Transcendence 5 because when pulling for characters you get this for free. You can also use the 4-star Lapis because this increases skill damage whenever you trigger a dodge effect, or the F2P 5-star Hydra, which can be gotten from the dimension variable. This also increases the 0 time by 2% and increases your damage within 0 time by 30%. So any of this Functor works for him, but obviously his best in slot is Moroclos because that is his signature. For his codes, they have gone the Endless Wave route. Now I can't explore other code options because I don't have him. But the Endless Wave code option or code route doesn't seem too bad, as it increases his damage of his third skill by 6, 18 and 36% depending on the number of ghosts that have been absorbed. It also increases or helps to trigger Riptide whenever your normal attack crits. So if you don't know, Riptide is when you do a third normal attack, you have to land the third normal attack, then it will trigger Riptide, pulling the tributary ghost closer and dealing water damage. But now every time the normal attack crits, it will proc Riptide, and this can be proc every 3 seconds, right? And it also increases the water damage by 18% and reduces the water resistance of enemies by 12% for seconds. So all in all, it boosts his kit very nicely. Endless Waves isn't one for the bad codes. It might not be the best because I said I couldn't explore the rest of his code as I do not have him, but Endless Waves is also a good code route to go for him. My thoughts on Oceanus: I feel he's a very solid DPS. He's one of the best DPSs in the game right now because his damage is actually absurd, and he's probably one of the fastest DPS, if not the fastest DPS in the game right now. He does his skills so fast, he does his combos so fast, and he has very good damage also. He can also buff team members, which are Hydro and Melee team members, with his ultimate. So my thoughts, he's pretty solid. He's a pretty great DPS that's going to last a long time over time. So even if you pull for him and you have him, be rest assured that contents to come, even in 2.5, 2.0, going up to like 2.8, you'll still be able to use Oceanus to clear them pretty easily.
No need. Our victory was assured.
Anyway, that's all for this video on Oceanus. I try to keep it as short as possible. Again, I release Aether Gazer content regularly on my channel. I also release Punishing Glory Raven content on my channel and Dislikes content on my channel. So be sure to follow, hit that thumbs up button, like this video. You can share to your friends, comment in the comment section what other heroes you would like me to test out. I'll be bringing out a video on Hera Phantasmal Dawn very soon. So stay tuned for that, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one.